Hello everybody, Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. 3 days ago I did a video called Map Evidence Pictures. We're going to kind of quickly just rush over them, look at them again, because then I'm going to go outside and I'm going to show you the evidence I found that backs up what them pictures are showing. I think you're going to find this real interesting. Let's go look at the computer first. Okay, just to refresh your memory. Okay, the oldest map I had right here, coming from the city. It's a black and white. Okay, this is my home here where I was ambushed and shot, where it's believed the last homeowner is murdered here. In the backyard where it's believed the underground home is located. And I pointed out this ditch. You can see where it's cut right here, and when you extend it out, it looks like it connects to weird buried bricks over here on the corner of the house. We're going to go out there and look at them in a minute, okay? And then if you go this way, it looks like it would extend onto the west manhole, the two side-by-side manholes, the one that had the cover off all that time. And then I also drew a dotted line over here because this is where the suspected tunnel entrance is in the backyard of the neighbor's house that got taken out after I made a point of it, okay? After I had survived a murder attempt and been shot by somebody under my home, okay? This picture basically, before I moved here, you know, there's dirt in the back of the truck. There's nothing there. The suspected tunnel entrance ain't there. Digging was done here. We'll go out there and look at that in a minute. Here, as you can see in the backyard, is where that suspected tunnel entrance. I pointed out them pieces of wood laying there blocked my view from the street. And I told the story that about a week before I'm ambushed and shot, I climbed on the roof looking around to find somewhere they could be a tunnel entrance was, and I saw this. And I couldn't see it from the ground because of them pieces of wood right there. And also there's a water well there, which is possibly a clue for the underground homes, okay? And we're gonna look here. These were the dated maps, you know, so this told me the time frame using Google Earth of when the suspected tunnel entrance was put in, you know, somewhere between 3/31/08, 12/5/09, we know it was put in. That's when the last homeowner is suspected of being murdered here and I moved in, okay? And then it was taken out sometime between 10/02/14. You can see it on that picture, and it's gone here 4/28/16, and that was after I was finding all this evidence and posted on the internet and getting a lot of views. Okay, so we knew the time frame and also the live tree. We'll look at that when we go out there. The live tree that was removed during that same time frame, that's set next to the side-by-side manholes. Okay, when we go outside here, once again, I'm showing you in the backyard of that neighbor's house where that was right after it was removed. See where the grass hadn't even grown over it yet, and also the missing tree up there. Okay, I'm going quick. This is a close-up. Okay, this was not any kind of hot tub, anything like that. You know, I would more describe it as a storm shelter door. Okay, I used to, middle of the night, I'd see people out here with flashlights and hear people moving around, whatever, and you know, and then also people in my attic. I was sure that was an entrance to the underground, and it was right over here is where the underground homes believed to be located. Okay, and there's the water well tank right there, the blue one. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to go on the other side of the wall. I just want to show you what it looks like because we're going to go in the alley, okay? But on the other side of this wall, and you'll see it in a minute, you can see where the ground was cut right here. It aims directly at my house. I believe that was the tunnel that was used by the people going to the oil show parties, the underground oil show parties, and where that young girl was murdered at in 2010. And also you'll see it looks like here there's, you know, the asphalt's a different color in that section too. I've wondered if this house right here, you know, there wasn't something in there too. I don't know that, but okay. We're going to look at this here in a minute on this telephone pole that's right next to the two side-by-side manholes where it was a suspected tunnel entrance on the other side of that wall. Now where the live tree has been missing, there was a cable going down. We're going to look at that, a Suddenlink coax cable, and it didn't go to the houses, and I knew it didn't go to Home Depot, and it goes into the ground, you know. And so, you know, I was making videos, calling Home Depot, asking them, you know, about this Suddenlink cable, and then Suddenlink shows up. These are two Suddenlink trucks on 9/22/14. They had a disconnect notice for this service. We're going to look at that cable. It's you know, I've had people go, well, go cut it. Well, it's not in service anymore. Somebody knew it was there. Somebody disconnected it, and I believe it was because, you know, here I'd survived a murder attempt in 2012, and I'm finding this evidence like that. I believe it comes right over here, because over here is where it's believed that one of the underground homes is located. Okay, we're going to look at that out there in a minute, and I'm going to show you on the other side of the wall. We're not going to go over there. This is the Home Depot side of the wall. Here's where the missing tree is taken out, right next to the two side-by-side manholes. And like I said, one of them had the lid off for several years. I sent a picture of it to the chief of police right after it survived a murder attempt. And just a couple years ago, I noticed somebody had took blue paint and marked the curb right there where it's suspected the tunnel was located, you know. And basically, I was counting. Here, see the letters up there? And that way I knew exactly where I was. This telephone pole is the one with the Suddenlink coax coming down it. We're going to look at it in a minute. 2019, I showed Homeland Security. I was back there behind Home Depot, showing them where I believe the human trafficking murder tunnel was at. You know, where that young girl was murdered, and at the 2010 oil show party Angie told me about. Remains of a young girl found in 2013. Well, 2 weeks later, they're back there digging the ground up and pouring concrete. I felt like they were trying to cover up this these capital murders. You know, that was tampering with evidence in capital murders. You know, along with the crimes against me. It wasn't a capital murder on me because I'm still alive, right? Go to Google Maps, you know, look up my address, and you'll see a large bunker in my backyard. We're going to go look in the backyard. You can't see it from above ground, but you look at Google Maps, it's clear as day. They've got a big old building in my backyard. And then I've got all kinds of people documented saying that there's underground homes in here, you know, supposedly put in for George H.W. Bush in 1987, budget of $7.35 million, called the Safe House Project, you know. I even secretly recorded a guy that was running for Midland Sheriff last year that told me our last sheriff used to hang out there. And I'm not surprised, because I remember Angie, I tried to get her to report that forced prostitution murder at the oil show party, and she was afraid and said high-level police were there at the party. And I have a real strong feeling that one of them high-level police was Sheriff Painter, because Joe Lozano said Painter used to hang out down there, you know. And then another woman told me there's 4 3-bedroom underground homes, 25 foot deep. They were having pedophile parties down there. So we can see from the, you know, from the pictures. Now we're going to go outside, and I want to show you what we can see outside. Okay, there's a security camera. This is where it gets interesting. This whole home, I figured out, was buried with like 1.5 feet of dirt, okay, after it was built. That's another thing we'll look at while we're out here, okay. And so just stepped out my back door, and here, I don't know if you can see it in the dark, I've dug that down right there. What I figured out was the foundation for the home is below ground about 1 foot and 1.5 feet deep, okay. And you know, and a guy at the store the other day told me in the 90s he come by here and they were pouring concrete, and I had suspected that because you know, all this dirt been added. See where that ditch is right there? You can see for that from the satellite where that round, that's the original level. The bottom of that's what the ground level used to be, okay. And I want to show you where it's dug out here too. Once again, that was just showing you that the whole property had like 1.5 foot dirt, you know, added on top after it was built. I believe the reason it was done is because they were doing the excavation for the basement and the tunnels, and they, you know, it was cheaper than hauling off the dirt, you know, so they just laid it out on the ground. My fence before this one, it was buried 1.5 feet deep. It rotted out the bottom of the fence. You could stand here and look over the fence because the ground has come up. We're going to go out in the alley and look at the other stuff I'm showing you. Okay, so there's the back of Home Depot right there. You can see it directly by my house. Not far at all. Okay, now here's one thing I had noticed is that the bottom of this wall, okay, and I'm gonna get over here, starting right there at this column is the, see that foundation that they have where it raises? Well, there's just no change in ground level. That wall was dug under, and they poured that foundation after it was built, okay? And it goes a good long ways down there. We'll walk down there and I'll show you. See, all this is new concrete, basically, newer than the original, because the original concrete is down there, okay? And even right in the middle of the support column. I mean, even if you were doing stepping, you would never do it in the middle of a support column. It's actually missing a row of bricks. See, there's a brick there, and that whole row of bricks is gone. In the backyard of that home right there is a big pile of bricks. I asked her where it come from. She said, oh, that fence back there. And I wondered if these bricks, I believe they dug under this. That might be where the tunnel comes in from there. Another clue I want to show you is right here on the telephone pole. It looks like it got hit with a backhoe, okay, when they were digging this all out, getting ready to put in their human trafficking murder tunnel, you know, and they cut the ground wire. And I bet you a real police officer could go look at the work orders and find out when that was replaced, when it was fixed, because it looks like they cut it because they were digging back here, you know, getting ready for the racketeering, organized crime, you know, to murder one homeowner after the other, murder them little girls that won't prostitute, and all the other crimes they commit, you know. They're rigging homes all across America. And let's don't forget they're using secret police gangs to do that with. Okay. I'm going to show you down on this end. And because the underground home's in the backyard right here. Okay. That telephone pole, that's the one with the Suddenlink cable on it that I showed you, where the two guys showed up in 2014. And what I had noticed was this cable that's hanging loose right here. Okay, see, and I had traced it out. I knew it was Suddenlink. I had contacted Home Depot. Nope, we ain't got Suddenlink. And I traced the lines out to the houses. They all go from above ground, but this one mysteriously goes in the ground to where nobody knows, you know. And I bet you it just goes across there to the underground home. They provided them cable, TV, internet, so while in comfort of the underground home, then they can rape and murder little girls, and, you know, and terrorize and kill one homeowner after the other. And I even wondered if this wasn't a vent pipe for underground. So I thought I'd show you that. I'm gonna pause this. We'll walk up front. All right, a couple more things in the backyard here. What I'm gonna show you. See my shed here? Right there in the corner of that shed, that's where my dog recognized the digging noise, and I caught it on camera. Okay, I got a video called Caught Digging right there. And then also, see them boards leaned up against that shed? That's why I couldn't see the suspected tunnel entrance that used to be on the other side of them boards. Them boards are still there. Okay, remember on the black and white picture, it looked like there was a tunnel that was cut. You projected it out, and it went to where the two side-by-side manholes were, right there on the other side where that missing tree is at. So you look where there's tree, come back. Tree was taken out at the same time that suspected tunnel entrance was taken out. Okay, and that's where the two side-by-side manholes are at. And I believe what that was for was, them manholes, that wasn't for the people at the underground parties. That was for the truckers that show up 24/7, middle of the night, holidays, whatever. And the people in the attic were going over there and meeting them, doing their little sex tricks or whatever, and then coming back up, and they're running like a truck stop, a lot lizard deal. But anyway, remember that tunnel was cut. It was aimed right at that one manhole that had the lid off. And on this side, it was aimed at the corner of the house right here. And that's where them weird bricks are at on the other side of the house. So we're going to go out front, and I'm going to show you that. All right, now we're going to go out the front door. I'm going to show you here these bricks. Right there. That's what I was talking about, them odd bricks were buried on the, and you project that where it looked like a tunnel, it looks like it connected to there. I'm going to show you one more thing over here. On this side of the house, if you look right there in the corner, there's a man-sized piece of tunnel pipe. And I'm wondering if that, see that sewer pipe or tunnel pipe right there, that's just a cut off leftover piece. I wonder if that ain't the pipe that's in that backyard that was going to that manhole over there for, or like I said, for the truckers right there. Okay, remember I told you that the guy told me about all this concrete being poured here and how the ground had come up about 1 foot to 1.5 feet, and that's what I've noticed, all that extra dirt. But I want to show you something. You can try this at your house. Standing flat-footed, I'm about 5'10". I can touch that. I've never done that in any house. That's because the ground came up. That's when they were rigging this home, you know, so that they could kill one homeowner after another, you know, for whatever reasons. And y'all try that when you get home.